How many of you guys like being sick? I don't know. It feels kind of like it's kind of fun to be sick. I don't know. It makes me feel calm. All right, welcome to my show. Welcome to my live. We're up in South Kona now at the farmers market today, and I'm gonna do a shortish show. I restocked my inventory a little bit, not a lot. Still working on that, but better than nothing. And try to go through our items here. Uh, all right. Hold on. Just getting my items together. Set up our giveaways. How's your 4th of July, guys? It seemed a little bit, I don't know, a little bit less excited this year than normal. I don't know. I heard I heard the spaceships gave the Northeast a big heat wave and canceled all the celebrations. They were like, the aliens said no celebrating this year, and they gave you a big heat wave. My mom was like, we lost Iron Sword. How you doing? My mom was like, we lost power. No, it doesn't, Aaron. I'm sorry about that. And I also have some bad news about those Mac nuts. They are sold out. So I'm either gonna have to refund you, Aaron, or I'm gonna have you can wait and I can send you what I can send you and send you the Mac nuts separately. So I'll message you and ask you what you want to do. But unfortunately, the chocolate covered Mac nuts are sold out. They got sold out. Let's do our first giveaway here. Garden Guy Apothecary, how you doing? Thanks for the share. And you'll wait. You'll wait for them to come in. All right. Yep. I mean, you got them at my cost. So I wonder how much those things cost online. Let me check. Hold on, guys. We'll be right back. Let's see. So if you were gonna buy those chocolate covered Mac nuts, holy shit, 37.99. Of course you should wait. You're smart to wait. They're 37.99. That's ridiculous. I should be selling them for 37.99. 37.99 on eBay. You found it for 18. Okay, well then that's a little bit better. That's okay. Yeah. I had a little bit of coffee, Sandon, but not enough. And I'm still feeling sick, but I like being sick, you know. Being sick feels like being high. I actually like being sick. It makes me feel calm. You know, I'm not complaining about my wife. We had a really nice morning. All because I'm sick. So I just need to be sick more often. I didn't have any coffee. Crazy. Surfing the Cosmos. You came back. I thought I lost you, Surfing the Cosmos. I thought after I thought this guy, he hates me now. But you're still here. I'm sure we got mixed feelings though. That's me. I'm sunshine. I'm the sunshine. I'm the sunshine and the stain. I'm an open sore, bleeding, bleeding onto whatnot, bleeding onto you guys. I'm the open sore, the festering wound. Probably there's no alternative. No alternative. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get rid of as many as possible. But once you try the coffee, you're gonna look for other coffees, and you still got to come back to me. You still got to come. Time is on my side until they might find another coffee. Appreciate that, red, white, and blue. They might find another guy in Kona, willing to spend all his time. packing coffee, but I'll tell you, it's not easy to find. Yeah. All right, let's talk about coffee, guys. So we do have the best, some of the best. You know, when I used to say we had the best coffee in the world on TikTok, these Colombians and these Costa Ricans would come on and yell at me, and I felt kind of threatened. So I stopped saying it was the best, and then I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna say this is the best." And so it's the best coffee in the world, guys. There's no comparison. It's the easiest to drink, the biggest beans. There's just no comparison. You can't find beans like this. So the level of sweetness in our coffee is unparalleled. And on top of that, the fact that even our lowest grade coffees will not give you any acid reflux or indigestion. I mean, most of us drink coffee like it's like we're smoking a cigarette, and we think coffee's supposed to hurt us. You know, coffee's we have this abusive relationship with coffee. It gives us a buzz, but then we're gonna get the shits, or it's gonna hurt our stomach, or we're gonna get acid reflux. But you know what? I know K cups. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about it. Let's go Bonos, getting some K cup makers, and even within K cups, you know, if I made the K cups, they would be fresh, freshly ground, freshly packed. And so I'm thinking about doing some K cups, but not yet. We'll get there. I'm thinking about it's a $12,000 investment. You can, yep, you can get a your own K cup. eh, Like they make these metal K cups, and then you could just put your own grounds in them. So you could just do it like that. Yeah, I was K cups opens a whole new world, right? You can then get them into offices, and then you know I could put the OG into the K cups, but I'm not. I still got spaceships and turmeric flowers. It's I still gotta do the chocolate covered mac nuts. Anyway, all right, guys. So you can tell I had some coffee because now I'm rambling, going off topic, and I'm a little bit afraid of it blowing up because I don't know if it keep up with the demand. So I kind of just want to take things slow. You know, my daughter's 3. I don't want things to blow up too much. I want to have the time to hang out with her. So I'm making bad financial choices in my life, but it's better than it was before. So what is unique about Kona coffee and Hawaiian coffee? I had some white, sand, and you can tell. I had half white, half red Katwai from Maui that Flap Caliph gave me. And I really, you know, I also don't really trust other people's coffee. I always wonder if they put like a little drop of meth in there. And I'm sure most people don't, but if even like I was thinking, you know, I think about this stuff a lot. Like if you wanted to just mess up the population, if you wanted to mess up the economy, what would you attack? You know, like how in Lebanon they put the explosives in the cell phones. Well, what would you do in America to just destroy the economy? You would you would put LSD in the coffee, right? You would, because then everyone, it would be everywhere. And so I try not to drink other people's coffee because I think that's a security hole. And yeah, I don't drink other people's coffee. I don't drink tap water. I don't, um, I try to drink my own water. Um, Salt, flour, all of those things are security gaps. So unless you're with weed actually. So, you know, because I've been drugged before. And so I've been roofied before through foods multiple times, and so I always think, what would you do, right? If you wanted to cause mass disturbances, what would you do? Well, you would put a guy in the coffee factory, and you just slip a tiny bit of research chemicals into the coffee, just enough that you couldn't detect it, but enough that everyone would just be like tripping all the time, and that would just mess up the entire economy. People would be reactive and violent and protesting on the streets and just going crazy. So I don't drink coffee from other people. But Flap Caliph, he sent me the coffee and I drank it because I kind of like feeling like that. You know, I also want to get drugged because I like it. Anyway, you can tell I drank the white coffee. So Kona coffee is the only coffee in the world that isn't gonna abuse you. It's not, you guys have an abusive relationship with your coffee. You drink it, it gives you a buzz, and then it punches you in the stomach. It's and we tolerate it because we think coffee is like a cigarette. We have to just tolerate the abuse. But if you let coffee ripen on the trees, it gets it actually gets sweeter. All the bitterness goes away, all the sourness goes away, and you're not going to get acid reflux or indigestion. I would say the dark roast is the one you want to get. The dark Hawaiian. All of the coffee here that I have is going to be almost the same. Like the Hawaiian coffee, the lower grade coffee is 80% as good as the extra fancy coffees. So our coffee is organically grown. I do. This is my little daughter here. I'm not going to let you see her head face. All of our coffee is organically grown, never sprayed with any chemical pesticides. There are farmers in our co-op who use herbicides along the base of the trees, right? So that makes it inorganic. There is some herbicide usage. Nothing, no chemical pesticides ever sprayed onto the trees. All the pesticides we use are either naturally occurring soil fungus and soil bacteria. There's just too much. There isn't enough weed whacking labor. So on my farm, which we sell out of our own coffee by like January, usually January, February. Each of these farms only produces about 500 to 2,000 pounds of roasted coffee per year. And so um, we need to source some green coffee from other farms. That's a great start, Deltron. The pea berry is like the top of the line. So if you give your girlfriend the pea berry, she should be very happy if she's a coffee connoisseur. Um, Dark Hawaiian, great for everyday drinking. And, I'd rather get you hooked on the dark Hawaiian, which, you can get for like $30 or even $25 a pound sometimes, versus getting you hooked on the Kona, which you're paying $50 a pound for, $60 a pound for, and then now you have to spend $60 every time you need coffee. I'd rather get you hooked on the cheaper stuff, because it's almost as good. I've been selling the Hawaiian coffee since I got to Kona. Everyone else doesn't want to sell it. I've been selling it since I got here, so I'm like the Hawaiian coffee guy. Because everyone else, they don't want to be associated with Hawaiian coffee. It's too cheap for them. They want to only be known to have Kona coffee, and they want to sell their Kona coffee for $100 a pound. That's like the dream, right? If every farmer's dream is to say, because you can, if your brand isn't that well known, or you're just trying to sell, you probably end up selling your coffee for $50 a pound. But if you start winning awards and you get a strong following as a small 6 acre Kona coffee farm, you might be able to sell your coffee for $100 a pound, even $150 a pound. I've seen people selling their Kona estate for $200 a pound, and that's the dream, right? You sell one bag for $200 a pound, and you're producing 1,000 pounds of coffee. That's $200,000 that you just made selling 1,000 bags of coffee a year to maybe 20 people. Whereas I got to deal with all this customer service, and that's what people move. People didn't move out to Hawaii to to do customer service. Dark Estate Kona. I want shorts. You want shorts? Dark Estate. So we have different grades of coffee. I'll actually put on some show notes today. So give me a sec. I'll put on the show notes and you can read a little bit. We have a few different grades of coffee. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just putting on the show notes. You want shorts, Willow? Um, so we have the Hawaiian grade, which is the least dense beans that we have. It's the lowest grade of coffee that we're allowed to tell you comes from Hawaii. We do have one below that, which can still be really good, but I tend to only sell the Hawaiian because that's still considered a specialty coffee. And then we have the 4 grades of Kona, which are the top grades of coffee out here. And Estate combines the top 4 grades of Kona coffee. It means it's coming from a single farm. Uh, I'm having some trouble here. It means it's coming from a single farm, and it combines the top four grades of coffee. And so our estate dark coffee is is actually a really good deal right now, but it's getting into 10 days old. That's why I'm selling it a little bit cheaper, the estate grade. Everything else was roasted on Saturday or Friday, I'm sorry. So I just put it in the show notes here. I'm gonna have a slow start here, but I'm gonna get moving. And so right now we're talking about the 2 ounce Hawaiian dark. I was telling people this hippie that used to work for me, who used to tear apart mongoose by hand, looks just like that guy Dave. And I found him at the beach. I kind of He kind of got catfished because we had all these all these girls working for us, and then they would go to the beach and find, and so. But this guy was the best worker I ever had. He was a homeless guy living on the beach, and we brought him in, and he picks the best coffee. But after me, he actually went and joined the army. So it was too much work for him. He was like, I need to find something easier. So it's not easy to pick this coffee. It's actually really hard to pick the coffee. Um, that's the hardest part, the most labor intensive, but it also is why the coffee is so good. So why is our coffee so much better? Yeah, we have the active volcano. We have this unique climate. We have virgin soil, and all those combined to make the beans here bigger than anywhere else in the world. But you can come to Kona and buy a bag of coffee, and it's gonna hurt your stomach. I've had it happen. Um, and if that happens, I don't sell that coffee. I've had coffee that hurts my stomach from Kona. So it's not Kona coffee isn't inherently better for you. It's actually because of how we pick it in particular. So if you pick your coffee unripe or underripe, it's gonna hurt your stomach. Just like if you ate a green strawberry every single day, it would hurt your stomach. And that's whereas if you pick your coffee overripe, if you wait for the coffee to come deep red, purple, or brown, it won't hurt your stomach. And the co-op I'm in, the South Kona hill that I live on in particular, strongly emphasizes picking the coffee overripe. Like that's where I learned to do it is you're supposed to wait for as much of the tree to turn purple as possible, and then you go out and all you gotta do is run your hands along the trees, and the berries just fall right into your picking basket. And anything that isn't ripe, you kind of leave on the tree for another 3 weeks to ripen into a new round. And you pick for a week, wait for 3 weeks. This is an 8 ounce bag of our dark estate that you asked about, though. And this one, the estate coffee, typically will cost you $65 a pound. So hopefully you guys have a good idea what you're bidding on. I have a feeling maybe I ran this a little bit too early in the show, but this is one of our higher grade coffees. But yeah, it comes down to the picking. Hey, Silver Cents. In a pound of our coffee, we pay our pickers $10 to $15. Hey, Iron Sword, thanks for that. Whereas in a place like Honduras, people are getting paid 10 cents. You guys are paying $12 for 8 ounces of coffee. I know you guys think this is commercial coffee, but even coffee coming from specialty coffees from Colombia, 8 ounces easily people are charging you 25 to $35. Whereas this is Kona coffee. Kona coffee is considered the most expensive, the best coffee in the world. Well, you got a deal there, Deltron. Give that one to your girlfriend. That's the 8 ounce estate, and that's the good stuff. It's considered boutique specialty coffee. That's right. And it's even very hard to find this coffee at a boutique roaster because the costs are so high. Like even these specialty coffees, single origin coffees, even the highest grade single origin coffees from Colombia and Ethiopia, the roasters are only paying 10, $12 a pound for the green beans. What are you doing? Yeah, the roasters are only paying 10, $12 a pound for the green beans, and um, you lose 20% when you roast, so you got to pay for your own labor. But so they can charge you 25, $30 a pound, even after paying all the markups and all of that stuff. But Kona coffee, you're not gonna very hard to find it for anything less than $30 a pound green. So now for them to make all the margins they need to pay for their business and their labor, they need to be minimum charging you $60 a pound or more, like 75. So that's why when you go to the store out there, that's pretty much the price you're seeing in the stores for estate, which is the base grade of Kona coffee. You're pretty much seeing it for 65, 72, something like that if you went to the roaster. If you go online, you might find it for cheaper. You might find as low as 40, but that $40 a pound coffee was probably roasted quite a long time ago. Not always, but probably it was roasted a while ago. So that's the reality of Kona coffee. And on top of that, there's 650 coffee farms out here, so you really don't know. You don't know if you got one of the coffee farms that have, bad picking practices. And if you get one of those farms, the coffee's going to hurt your stomach. It's going to give you indigestion. It's going to give you acid reflux, just like any other coffee. So it really comes down to the picking, but that's also why this coffee is so expensive. You'll work her up to it. Make sure you drink. You don't want to save the coffee either, right? You either freeze it. If you're going to save it, you need to freeze it. Otherwise, after 3, 4, 5 months, the coffee, if it's left out at room temperature, it's still gonna age in the same way as your commercial coffees, right? Most commercial coffees have been sitting on the shelf for um, has been sitting on the shelf for anywhere from a few months to 18 months max. The best by date on those commercial coffee is uh, is 12 to 18 months after the roast date. And coffee is a fermented product, like, and the coffee production process is dirty. It's it's sitting out in vats, open to the air. It's fermenting in a ton of water that smells like feet for 24 to 48 hours. So it's not like coffee. I mean, we do cook the coffee, right? Roasted coffee, but coffee is not sterile. How should she store the bags? Put them in the freezer, Deltron. Unless she's gonna drink it within a month, put them in the freezer. Put it in a Ziploc in the freezer, even better. Yeah. And then if you just throw it in the freezer as soon as you get it, it's gonna retain that freshly roasted coffee, taste. You're gonna hear professional cuppers, coffee snobs be like, and it's great to be a coffee snob, but so don't. That's not derogatory, but you're gonna hear them say, you shouldn't throw your coffee in the freezer. It changes the flavor, which is true. Give me one sec. Um, yeah, freeze it until you need to grind it, and only grind what you need. You don't need to defrost it. You don't need to defrost it, so just grind only what you need. And so this we my whole thing is I want to make sure the coffee I'm selling you is less than a week old. So everything else that I'm selling you here, this Hawaiian light sampler roasted on Friday, and that's why I don't do like sample packs, really bundles, because I don't know what I'm gonna have a lot of times. She will think that you are a coffee god when she drinks it, especially compared to she's gonna be like, wow, your coffees, Deltron. That was impressive. So you are impressing your girlfriend with this coffee. The packaging is pretty bland, but she's gonna drink the coffee. Usually, a lot of people, they look at the packaging, they yell at me, and then when they drink the coffee, like, oh wow. But a lot of people, when they there you go, you got me. I do have some peaberry medium, yes. Also just roasted on Friday. So this coffee right now, pretty much everything. I'll tell you exactly when it was roasted, but pretty much everything in here is just the freshest that it could possibly be. So I'll run some pea. It looks like you guys don't want the base quality. You're here for the good stuff. So our peaberry coffee is so peaberry coffee happens at the tips of the trees. It is the rarest and usually the most expensive coffees that we produce in all of Kona. It takes 100 pounds of coffee to produce 1 pound of peaberry. You have to run it through screens. It's a denser bean, maybe twice as dense. And this is a 2 ounce bag of the medium peaberry. I also have the larger bags. And I do those for 30, 32 for 8 ounces. So that was my medium pea berry. I got to run them for 8 because right now it doesn't seem like there's any bitters, and I can't risk uh, I can't risk any more $1 bags. I've been doing $1 bags all day, and I just can't do it anymore. So I'll run a larger bag of the medium pea berry in a sec. Here we go. This is an 8 ounce bag. And if you go to ABC stores out here, a 1 7 ounce bag of medium pea berry is $56. So we try to keep our prices down as much as possible. Uh, and so the 100% Kona medium pea berry here, just roasted on Friday, extremely sweet. The flavor profiles across most of our coffees are pretty close. The pea berry has a kind of a broader flavor profile. It's more complex than our other coffees. It's when I say it's sweeter, it's buttery. There's more oils in the pea berry because it's a denser bean. So if you guys, pea berry is like the top of the line coffee. People who drink and really know coffees know, pea berry tends to be the most expensive coffee from any region, and some people just swear by pea berries. So if you want the most interesting flavor, I think the thing that sets the pea berry apart for me, it makes this amazing espresso, and the thing that sets the pea berry apart for me is that it has this fermented honey finish to it. Tastes like a fermented honey, not fermented, just regular honey. It's got that slight tanginess that you would expect from honey. So that's our pea berry medium. We also have a pea berry dark, and what one thing you want to kind of watch out for when you're making your pea berry is you need to make sure you measure it by weight rather than volume, because the pea berry grounds, even in the beans, are actually twice as dense as your equivalent coffees, your equivalent Kona. So if you make a cup of pea berry and you're using the volume scooper, you're using your same scooper, you're actually using twice as much grounds, and that's going to end up making maybe a cup of coffee that's too bitter for you. No, I have to ship them separately. They won't let me do that. Or they're going to charge the same for you anyway. And yeah, I can't actually ship them together. Like I can, but I can't. It's like kind of complicated for me to do that. So I just ship them as per show. And I do 2 shows a day, so they don't even combine really well. Um, Iron Sword, yeah, honey. I'm confused. Are you saying you want some honey? All right, what else are we doing? So that's our dark pea berry. I have some dark pea berry samplers too. That's an 8 ounce there. Did I run that already? Not all here today. And then I have a light pea berry. Light pea berry is the fruitiest. The dark pea berry is the richest of all our coffees. Pea berry is just denser, and the denser bean you get. I don't even know. Here we go. But the denser bean you get a smoother cup of coffee, a richer cup of coffee. It roasts differently, so you get like this wider, more complex flavor profile because the outside of the bean roasts a little bit more. The inside of the bean roasts a little bit less. And so the inside of the bean is more raw, so you're moving towards the medium on the inside, but on the outside, it comes out as more dark. And so as you roast coffee darker, the flavors caramelize, the compounds become more water soluble, but they also become less bioactive. They lose some of that antioxidant power of the coffee. Coffee is really complex. Coffee actually has more than 2,000 compounds in it. Or I think wine, I forgot, is like 500. I don't know if those are the exact numbers, but coffee is significantly more complex than wine. Willow, is it nap time? Willow, my darling. You tired? Well, we'll take a nap soon, and then we'll go to Ross stores. How's that sound? My daughter loves Ross stores. It's like her favorite place to go. So we go to Ross stores every day. I know I'm spoiling her, but I don't care. All right. Next item up, we got cacao nibs. We got cacao nibs here. These are 4 ounces of cacao nibs. So we also grow cacao in Hawaii, and the cacao here ends up being less bitter and more fruity than other chocolates, and without the guilt. Do you guys feel guilty when you eat chocolate? I don't really. I guess it's a little bit sugary. Yeah, so this cacao nibs, they taste like dark chocolate, but we don't add any sugar. We don't add any we don't add any sugar, we don't add any, milk and nothing like that. So it tastes like a dark chocolate nut. And I can actually do these at a $1 start. I can move through these a little bit if you want. So you can throw these in your ice cream, vanilla ice cream, cacao nibs, really good. You can throw them in your fruit shakes, your health shakes, and you're getting all the benefits of the coffee without, as Iron Sword says, without the guilt. Yogurts, all that good stuff. Let's do some. Let's do some. Let's do a poll. I don't know. Kefir. That $1 star completely failed. Kefir, is that called kefir? Like Topher. Tuffle. All right. Doesn't look like there are any takers on the cacao nibs either. So we're gonna move on from that. To the pea berry. Oh, we got some white coffee here. So how many guys are here for the white coffee? What are you looking for, Rumpy? You missed the $1 auction. I feel like everyone's tired today, huh? Or maybe my whole thing about coffee having here, Rumpy, just for you. If you get it for $1, you get it for $1. I'm feeling weird today. So sometimes when I'm feeling weird, you're gonna get stuff for cheap. It happens. And so see, now that I tell you you're gonna get it for cheap, you guys bid it up. When I tell you I needed to get it to 8, you guys get it for 1. Rumpy and I were talking about reverse psychology. This is exactly it. My wife says there's no such thing as lazy. I think she's lazy. Here I go complaining about my wife again. I'm telling you, I drank the white coffee. It's not good. It makes me think too much. When you think too much, it's hard to be happy when you think too much. I think so too, but she thinks I'm crazy. And when I review it, she's probably right, Rumpy. She's probably right. Why? So the white coffee. So a lot of you guys, how many? Let me do a poll. How many guys are here for the first time? How about that? This way I know what to talk about. I don't know. I don't know if I should describe the coffee, and you guys are like, oh, there he goes again about the trigonolene. All right, we're gonna here for the first time. Shafi. All right, so did Rumpy ever get one? Here, one more for you, Rumpy. One more 4 ouncer. They're not gonna let you get it, Rumpy. I'm sorry. You don't deserve it. They don't think you deserve it. See, there I go again. All right, Rumpy, you got one. All right, this time. All right, so if you guys have never heard about white coffee before, this one is sort of the novelty. Um, there's this other alkaloid. So alkaloids are things like nicotine, caffeine is an alkaloid, cocaine is an alkaloid, opiates are alkaloids, quinine is an alkaloid. So not all alkaloids are crazy, but the ones we know about, the theobromine in chocolate is an alkaloid. And so alkaloids are the things that are have a high bioactivity. A lot of them can cure diseases. A lot of them can cause big problems if used in large amounts. But they're all extremely bioactive. So some of them can kill you. Some put you to sleep. Things like that. Coffee has two alkaloids in it. It's got one of them is caffeine, and the other one is something called methylamine. I mean, the other one is called trigonylene. When you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is the meth part of methamphetamine. And so when you drink white coffee, about 90% of that compound is intact, whereas in your dark roast, about 99% of it has been roasted away. So the white coffee is just the strongest. It's almost raw. Coffee has two key temperatures, one around 390 to 400, which is called first crack, and then I think around 430. It depends on your roaster, but that's second crack. And at each of those, uh, at each of those, at each of those roast levels, at each of those temperatures, the compounds in the coffee begin to change and caramelize, and the coffee will actually pop and get bigger. That's why coffee beans, even when you roast coffee dark, even when the bean starts really small, it looks really big. So the same bean can look tiny when it's a light roast versus a dark roast where it's popped. And so looks like most of you guys have been here, so you guys know what to expect. And so the white coffee gets you going. Like the white coffee gives you a buzz. You want some Hawaiian green? I don't have any of the Hawaiian green right now for you guys. I do have the fancy, extra fancy grade in green, but you know. So the white coffee is coffee which just gives you a huge buzz. It's not like the other coffees. It's a really strong buzz. It gives you probably 10 times the buzz of your dark roast, and it tastes like a tea. This is a 12-ounce bag here, Mark Mac. 12-ounce bag here of the white Hawaiian, and then I also have the white in the extra fancy grade, and that's 8-ounce bag. I don't know if I have it here. It is an 8-ounce bag. I'll do that for 33. So this is. I came back, Mac. I just started. Just started. I go in and out. I don't like to do really long shows because I find that by the end of the show, I don't know, no one's really buying anything. I do these $1 auctions, and then I just keep losing money. And I'm not even talking about coffee anymore. So I try to do the shorter shows, and then, but bookmark my future shows, if you will. And how's the sales going for you, Mac the Knife? I wanted to win one of your giveaways. You can't beat a good knife. I appreciate that, Mac. Hope your show goes well, and if you guys need a knife, check out Mac the Knife. We can all use a good knife. and uh, and so the white coffee has this compound called trigonelline, trigonelline, trigonelline. It's another alkaloid. It's got a lot of benefits. It's got so many benefits. People are studying it clinically. People are extracting it and putting it into supplements. It beats a lot of NAD plus supplements for boosting your NAD levels at the cellular level, and you can really feel it. Although if you drink too much of it, you end up not eating enough, and it's kind of strong. It's and I tell people, when I first started this white coffee about 3 months ago, and the last 3 months have been kind of a blur. I definitely spend way more time, and so I'm more productive. I'm more serious about selling things, and so my the number of sales I make has gone up. But I also lost my e-commerce privileges on TikTok. My LinkedIn is no, I'm completely banned on LinkedIn now. I'm not even allowed to repost. They figured out my secret messaging way where I repost other people's things about what, but so now I'm completely banned on LinkedIn. So you definitely need to be careful what you say on the white coffee. I feel like it's a little bit of it lowers your inhibitions. And for some of us, if you're belligerent, you like to be belligerent, kind of like me, it might be a bad thing for you. Others, also makes you more social. You want to hang out with people. Um, it can make you relapse if you guys are like trying to quit a drug or alcohol. It might make you relapse. It made me relapse briefly. So it's not it's not good, completely good. If you're a little bit unstable, it'll definitely bring that out. So for some of you guys, maybe you like that, but definitely comes with a warning. So if you guys are in rehab for anything, and I know it sounds like I'm telling you, I'm kind of like trying to sell you by saying, oh, it's gonna make you relapse from rehab, but I'm actually serious. If you guys are on rehab for anything, you probably don't want to drink this white coffee. The way you make it is you grind into a powder. So treat it like it's a substance. You grind into a powder, put it into, I would say French press is a great way to make it, or you can just make it however, drip coffee, however you normally make your coffee. You can make it with the white. You just want to grind it a little bit finer, I would say. And the white coffee doesn't taste like coffee. So if you hate the flavor of coffee, it's also worth trying. You don't have to use that much of it. So for me, I'm using 4 times the recommended dosage too, and that's what's really throwing me off. But that's just the kind of person I am. Like, like I'm the kind of person who has overdosed before. So you you can't overdose on the white coffee, but it can throw you off. You don't have to, because you can just drink a smaller amount of it. But it's a regular dose is like 10 cups of coffee. I think it could replace your energy drinks. Um, it's good stuff, but you definitely want to be cautious. It's not a hard drug at all, but it is a substance. So be cautious, but it's also really healthy for you. So it's unlike an energy drink. It actually improves your skin. It's actually good for your skin. That's clinically studied for improving your skin. Good for your muscles, but you know, but it's a little bit too good in some ways. So that's our white. Uh, Hold on. We also have a sample. We have the white in extra fancy, which is the highest grade of our coffee, and that white's just a little bit cleaner in terms of how it affects you. Less of a little less. I mean, neither of them really give you anxiety, but it's just a little bit feels cleaner in terms of the energy it gives you, just marginally cleaner. And this one is the extra fancy. I also run the white as a 2 ounce sample for the Hawaiian. I If I can, I drink the extra fancy white because I find the Hawaiian white really throws me off. Like it's super strong for some reason, whereas my extra fancy white is kind of it's strong, but I'm not, I'm not feeling like I'm drunk. What's that, Willa? You want food? What kind of food do you want? Well, why don't we go to the car in a second soon, okay? All right, guys. I think this might be a shorter show again, or the other show was pretty long. I do have some peaberry. What kind of peaberry are you looking for? Extra dark. I don't have it. It's a roast that we do sometimes, and it's more like a Starbucks dark. I do have some peaberry. I have a light, medium, and dark, all roasted on Friday. Um, if you're looking for a dark peaberry, we got to go to Rostos first. Okay, let me just finish this show, okay? Let me do a light peaberry. Did you want an 8-ounce bag or a sampler? Where are we going? I only have the light in sampler sizes, but I can make a temporary listing if you want. Otherwise, why don't you watch for a little longer and then we'll go, okay? Thanks. Here's a sampler. Here's the light peaberry. This one, very fruity, smoothest of all our coffees. It's a little bit stronger than our Hawaiian light. So you get some of that effect of the white coffee, but it still tastes like coffee. It's very, very fruity. It's almost buttery. The peaberry is the smoothest of all our coffees. If you don't know what peaberry is, it happens at the tips of the trees where, and it forms like this pebble-like bean uh, instead of having the two flat halves. So it roasts differently. It's got a broader range of flavors in it. It's very fruity. It's the most expensive coffee that we have, mainly because of just how rare it is. And it is a very tasty coffee. It's it's buttery in a way. It like finishes with this butter finish to it. So if you are looking for the highest grade of coffee that we have, the peaberry is something definitely worth trying. Uh, Super tasty. I'm gonna do just a few big bags, and then I think maybe I'm gonna have to wrap it up because my daughter's like, we gotta go. She wants to go to Ross stores and needs to take a nap. So I might end up hopping on here. You know what I could do if you guys want free shipping to continue, not free shipping, but if you want the, I better not. Just forget it. Let's not do that. I don't want to make any promises that I'm not going to keep. So we're just going to wrap this show up. If you have any last requests, if you guys have reduced shipping and you want to take advantage of that, I'll stay on for another like 10 minutes. Just let me know what you want. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to give you guys a chance to bid on 2 pounds of our extra fancy dark here, also roasted on Friday. You're getting 2 pounds of this. You guys ready? $1 start, guys. 2 pounds of our extra fancy. And this is the biggest beans that we have. Our extra fancy, if you go on our website, it's going to be $90 a pound. So people end up paying $180 for this. So hopefully you guys know what you're bidding on. I don't have any more of that extra dark OG, unfortunately. DJ, you want some Mac nuts? I'll run some of those. Yeah, I don't have any more of that. I might have some in a week or two. Um, I've been getting those in 40 pounds at a time because I didn't know how good it was. It is really good. So I might buy a bunch of those and sell those because that extra fancy OG, I can charge you commercial prices for it. It's not quite a specialty coffee, but it's almost as good as the Kona, and it's only, you can replace your Starbucks with it. But we got 2 pounds of our extra fancy Kona Dark here. These are the biggest beans in Kona and also the biggest beans in the world. So comparable to the pea berry, a little bit sweeter than the pea berry, but a little bit less smooth, but very comparable. So if you're looking for beans that look like coffee beans but are just like 4 times larger, just massive beans. These are the ones you want to get at $20 a pound. Like you're never gonna find extra fancy for a $20 pound. Yeah, it should be a minimum of 100. But I like to run some of these. We'll see what it goes for. I think over time, it will catch up with you once you get that extra fancy dark for the first time. You're gonna realize just how massive these beans are. I think Aaron's already won a bunch of these, so he knows what he's been on. Um, big, big, big beans. Yeah, he's cleaning it up. He is. These are just the biggest beans. We usually sell these for $90 a pound on our website. It's only about 5% of our beans comes out this large. So it's the cream of the crop, and it is just even compared to your normal estate coffee, some of them are like 3 4 times bigger. So Aaron knows what he's cleaning up today. But I owe him some Mac nuts, so he deserves a deal, I guess. All right, someone wants some Mac nuts. Let me run some of these Mac nuts here. I always know, these $1 auctions, I always get killed on them. You went for it, Aaron. Just can't. I'm sorry, Gregory. We're gonna get out of this. We're gonna get out of this mess in America. It's a mess. We gotta get. It's a mess, but we'll get out of it. I'm not. I'm not gonna do that. No way, Aaron. No way. That's my only $1. That's my only 2 pounder for the day. You're gonna have to come back for another. I'll do one larger bag every day. Or per show. I like to just. It's almost like in a way it might giveaway, but I'm not gonna run more than one unless I get a decent price. These magnets are good. You can replace your pesto with it. So instead of pine nuts, you can use mac nuts. That's what I like to do. You can just eat them. They're raw mac nuts, so they're not toasted, right? I could do some turmeric. I could do some turmeric. Turmeric, turmeric. I have a lot of turmeric. I have 6 years worth of turmeric on my farm that I haven't harvested. So I'm actually doing the turmeric for the flowers because turmeric flowers only come in if you keep the turmeric planted for 2 years. And so I have all of these turmeric flowers coming in, which I'm super excited for. The turmeric flowers also kind of get you a nice little pain, so you feel your whole body just like deflate when you eat the turmeric flowers. So or when you drink the turmeric flowers, it's really got this sweet. It's like a sweet turmeric tea. It's actually an amazing tea. So I've been thinking about commercializing the turmeric flowers for years, and I finally did it this year, and I've got another batch coming, so I'm excited. No more givvies, Sandin, because I'm wrapping the show up, and I only do the givvies because that boosts it boosts you up in terms of getting more people coming into the room. So once I start, they cost me $6 each from Whatnot on top of what the coffee costs me. So I just got to be a little bit more conservative with my giveaways when I start wrapping up the show. But I may have another show later. I may come back. I may not. But I'll definitely have a show tomorrow where we can get some more givvies. I'm no more givvies for the day, unfortunately. I'm done with the givvies today. Peace. Um, Vulcans. Oh, that's a good poll. Here we go. I love these polls. They're so much fun. The Vulcans are like communist Chinese people, and the Romulans are like Taiwanese people. That's what I always thought. Thanks, Gregory. Hopefully, you enjoy it. Romulans, yeah, that's right. Oh, no, you guys are communists. That's right, Romulans in the house. How many communists do we have here? Wise guy. Glad. How was it? And which one did you get, the medium or the dark? It's to boost. It's 6 and 6, Vulcans and Romulans. So half of you guys are communists, half of you guys are fascists. More communists now. More communists than fascists. It's half and half. We got half the people here are communists, the other half the people here are fascists. It's okay, Vulcans, the communists are winning. And communism sounds better. I totally get it. All right. Someone wanted the $1 start. I could do a $1 start on turmeric because I got a lot of that, and all I gotta do is dig that out of the ground. So, and this turmeric in the stores, you guys would be paying $22 for it. This is like big fat turmeric fingers. It's not like your shriveled up turmeric that you got from Jamaica or Mexico. Turmeric needs a lot of micronutrients, in particular manganese. So like after you grow turmeric 1 year, you can, if you don't fertilize it with the right stuff, you can put as much fertilizer as you want in there, and the turmeric's gonna come out like tiny little fingers, like tiny little stringy shits. So who won here? Vulcans, of course. Of course, the establishment wins. Got to clean the wet dirt out. Yep. All right. Here's our 1 pound of turmeric. A little bit late in the year to replant, so I would say this is, if you can plant it more as an ornamental at this point. If you wanted to garden it, I would start it in May. But the turmeric, you can peel it, throw it in your fruit shake, and it gives you all the benefits of your turmeric powder or turmeric pills that you guys are eating as supplements. Um, you can you can dehydrate it, put it into slices, and then put it in your oven and dehydrate it down until there's no more, until these dried pieces, and throw it in your spice grinder, and that's how you make a turmeric powder, which is the Indian spice. These are organically grown and never sprayed with anything. No herbicides, no pesticides. I don't even fertilize these. These are just the pure Hawaiian soil. Turmeric is actually a native Hawaiian plant. They call it olena, and so these are just a really just a great turmeric. And are you guys fighting? You guys are fighting. I knew it. I saw a fight. Fight. I love fights. I love fights. If I see a fight, I'm gonna encourage it. I never understood people who broke fights up. Never made any sense to me. I was like, if they're gonna fight, let them fight. I want to see blood on the pavement. You guys have any other requests? Any other requests? Any other requests, guys? Eternal revenue. There you go. I like that name. You think it's something in life? Do I have Section 8 coffee? I do. That's the OG, right? That's the OG coffee. All right. I don't know. You guys got any last requests? You know how they give you lobster before you get deployed? I remember before I got sent to Egypt, I was eating all this lobster dinner, and I thought I thought it was so great, but I had no idea. And now I think back on it, like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't, because who was the one who's giving me the lobster dinners? Is this guy from NASA? And then the next thing I knew, I was in Egypt. But that lobster was good. It was Maine lobster. We're eating seafood. Rhode Island has some of the best food, guys. Rhode Island has some of the best food in the world. All right, guys. You guys have any last requests? I'm gonna go. I gotta take. Looks like you guys are all Vulcans. I don't wanna. I don't wanna spend my time with people who like Vulcans. So I'm getting out of here, guys. I don't wanna. I don't wanna mess with you guys. You guys are all Vulcans. Next time. Let's give Ridley Roast Coffee House a shot. No Vulcans. No Vulcans need apply.